Usually people play video games to get away from the stresses of the real world and to relax by doing something entertaining, enjoyable, and which requires little effort. I, however, have taken these aspects away from my gaming experience by challenging myself to have the most excruciating Call of Duty playthrough, which I would never do again even if I was promised a lifetime supply of pot noodles. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, I just want to get this intro to at least 25 seconds. Welcome back to Can You Beat Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare as a Pacifist. From the devastation of the previous episode, we still proceed with optimism for the upcoming missions, as the greater good of mankind is depending on us to stop Al-asad and his Fortnite cards. The next mission returns us back to Sergeant Paul Jackson and the First Force Recon team, who are on a mission through the Middle East to locate Al-asad and his World Wrestling cards. They are also informed that he is in possession of multiple nuclear explosives, and so their mission becomes even more crucial. He has now become just as dangerous as Donald Trump with any kind of combat devices. The team need to make their way through a swarm of hostiles alongside the tank they protected in their last operation, so they can clear a path to get to an LZ to head towards where they received a signal of Al-asad's position. This mission was much more relaxing, seeing as I just finished the AC-130 mission from last episode. However, there was still a large number of enemies to find a way past. This mission was the first that I had really started to begin to rely on my teammates to take everyone out, which I definitely needed because I'm absolutely useless, and not just inside this challenge either. The tank began its journey through the town, but before it even got into the main section for this mission, I already had some issues with hostile watermelons.
The only thing that soup was authorised to harm were watermelons, because no one likes watermelon.
To begin with, I thought that staying beside the tank would protect me enough. However, the tank seemed to be even more useless at dealing with enemies than I am, and I'm, in fact, actively avoiding any and all conflict. I would die a few times, like I did inside last episode, while trying to find the best place to hide while my team moves up excruciatingly slowly. However, I found that just sitting behind Lieutenant Vasquez provided the best protection, as he acted as my human shield. Props to him, he can actually be helpful for once. However, we seem to come to a standstill, as my team reaches a checkpoint in the road, and they will only push further onwards if I proceed first. Geez, it's almost as if the player is expected to have the biggest influence in the story, and I can't handle that sort of responsibility, and so I decide to sacrifice myself so I don't have to deal with the embarrassment. Oh wait, you can't actually die, I forgot. Thanks Einstein, that's truly helpful when I'm attempting to be a pacifist. We make our way through some of the corner buildings, allowing for everyone else to continue forwards and the tank to proceed in its path. This section is packed with multiple buildings and accessible interiors, which all seem to be full with enemies.
Hi.
As I'd realised that to continue I would need to move forwards and my team would follow me, I kept pushing onwards, until I found a rocket launcher bastard. So, I had to move forwards, but not too far or too short of a distance either, or else I'd be vulnerable to stray bullets or RPGs. To solve this predicament, I stayed close to other members of my team until I moved a bit further up. Then I resorted to the left hand side building. I managed to somehow sneak up behind an enemy without them noticing. To be honest, I didn't even realise it was an enemy until I looked up, but how he didn't see me is absolutely baffling. I waited behind him until my team moved up closer to my position, so I was less likely to die. I was then able to move across the street and through the back alley. Some of your friendlies also follow you, which is helpful as I act as my guardians, because oh my god, I really needed it. The buildings are packed with enemies, and they are coming from all directions, and so I needed to stick behind Griggs and his LMG to let him take out as many as possible, as they are mainly focused on him and my other teammates. I'll be constantly running around finding new places to hide, until I found the goddamn magic school bus. I reached a checkpoint as most of the enemies on this building had been cleared, and so we could push even further forward, where we came in contact with a couple machine gunners who were constantly firing onto us. To begin with, I did doubt that my team would be able to take them out themselves, and so I was prepared for the worst case scenario. But of course, before totally giving up, I did try to move closer to see if my team would follow and give them a greater chance at killing them. Whenever you move into the open, you would be blasted by gunfire and have limited cover, so you would need to move quick. I tried to provide suppressive fire so they would stop shooting for at least a short time. However, they did not become unnerved from anything I threw at them. I went back to the previous buildings to try and persuade Griggs to at least do something, but he seemed more interested in the wall than saving the world. Lieutenant Vasquez also had other plans than to help take them out. Instead, he sat right at the back of the alley, having no input whatsoever. I can't believe I put my trust into you, Lieutenant, you useless arsehole. I spent some time trying to push him forward, however he refused to provide any help. I retreated to the other building once more to investigate the upper floor, but all I found were more enemies, and so that was a no-go. However, once I went back to see how much progress Vasquez had made, I found that they had already taken out the machine gunner somehow. I guess you are okay after all, Lieutenant. The last part just consisted of the team moving forward to the final building and witnessing a standoff between the two rival tanks.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
We move forward to head to the LZ, where we are picked up by a friendly chopper and end the mission. The next mission starts with the Marines heading towards Al-asad's possible location. We are heading into a neighbouring city from the air, controlling a machine gun, which we will definitely not be using. I don't really know why they put me on the gun, as I clearly make no input in combat. Once we get further into the city, we begin to get shot at by ground units and some heavy guns. These guns are extremely powerful, and can easily take you out in a few seconds, and so this part of the mission is all down to the luck of not being shot. The first few times I died was from the very first enemy. However, after attempting to angle my camera in a particular position, I realised that my gun would cover up some of my body, and so I figured that some bullets were unable to hit me. It was still very easy for me to die though, but it gave me more of a chance to get a little bit further. I managed to get to the first checkpoint, which I didn't actually think I would be able to do so quickly. However, I was relieved that no enemies were required to be killed so far. We carried on further into the centre city, where we are ordered to leave the chopper and help with the extraction of the recon team. This part was relatively simple, I just needed to stick behind my team and follow them forward. I found a trusty sidekick, who helped me get past the first portion of enemies. Who is this masterful companion, I hear you ask? Well, it was none other than Sergeant Glenn. Welcome back, trooper, it's good to have you here. I really relied on my team to continue to take care of the enemy forces blocking our way, while I naturally got distracted by a cinder block, until I remembered the crucial mission we were tasked with. We are to make our way through some enemies on the ground floor of a construction building, and reach a recon team on the upper floor. To begin with, I didn't realise how many enemies were actually inside, and so when I ran inside I got royally fucked. After a few too many attempts, my teammates were able to clear them out so we could reach the upper level, where we meet up with the rest of our team. We had to return back to the chopper, and what a surprise, there were even more enemies blocking our path. This time it seemed like our team was useless from the long range they were at, and so needed to be incentivized to move closer. As always, that meant that I would need to move forward first for them to follow me, but with the masses of enemies, it wasn't that easy. There were enemies absolutely everywhere, and I would always have to have a piece of cover so I wouldn't get shot from every angle. However, once I got inside the second building, I was easily able to hide on the stairs, and my team came with me and took care of the surrounding enemies. We were then able to move forward and reach the LZ, where we are able to get back to the safety of the helicopter. This mission, however, is still not over yet, as one of our attack helicopters is shot down, and we are tasked with a search and rescue. This section is luckily timed. You may be asking yourself, but Finn, why is that lucky? Surely that would make it harder, as you would still need to wait for your teammates. But fear not, my friends, as this timer means that the enemies are basically irrelevant, as the game expects you to just focus on rescuing the fallen helicopter pilot instead of dealing with the enemy. Happy days, we managed to save her. Looks like you were screwed after all, Al-asad. We are coming for you.
Not so fast, bitch. Get ready for a real pounding.
Everyone hang on!
To prevent us from reaching him and retrieving the deadly Fortnite cars, Al-asad set off a nuclear explosive in the centre of the city, as we find out he was not actually there. Sadly, this takes down the chopper, and we lose contact with the First Force recon team. Luckily, our boy Griggs got on a substitute chopper and reached safety, avoiding the nuclear blast. Not gonna lie, that seems a little sus. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed this video or learnt anything, then please consider giving it a like. If not, then give it a dislike. Be sure to leave a comment about your favourite ice cream flavour. Subscribe to my channel and tap that bell to receive notifications for when I next upload. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers before the end of May, so if you can support me in reaching this milestone, I would love you forever. Be sure to check out my gaming challenges playlist for previous videos of this kind. Once again, thank you all, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye for now.